and welcome to Chemistry 101. My name is Dr. Ismail Badran, and I am an assistant professor of physical chemistry at Qatar University. I will be your instructor for this course. Today is the first lecture, so I welcome you all to Qatar University, and I will go through some of the things that we need to do in this course. So the first thing you want to do when you register for this course is you access the portal of the course on Blackboard. When you log into Blackboard of Qatar University, you go to courses, and then you will see your course, which is, for example, your section L66, whatever your section is. And then in this page, you will find some important materials that we need to go through one by one. The first thing is, when you click on the course syllabus, you will find two things. You will find the syllabus of the course and also some instructions to get the textbook. So you need to download this syllabus document into your computer. When you open it, you will find all the information that you need for this course, the course number and the CRN code. You might need to use this for some registration processes. Your section, in this case, is L66 and it's female. The meeting times and the classroom. For the first period of this course, we are going to do distance learning through Blackboard or any other software like Microsoft Teams or whatever. But in case we went back to the school and attend actual classes, we're going to meet in the classroom C01, D201, for example. This is an information about me and my office and my office hours. The very first thing that you must do when you do Chemistry 101 is you have to obtain the book. So the book itself does not exist in a printed version. You will have an access to an electronic version of the book. So you need to email the bookstore at the university to send you an access code to obtain the book. When you registered for this course, you have already paid for the book, so just send an email to ebooks@qu.edu.qa and mention that you need the chemistry book, and this is the code, BKSE, whatever. Just copy this code into your email, and you will have an access code to access the book. Once you do that, you go back to Blackboard, and right at the bottom here, at the bottom left, there is a button called McGraw-Hill. So you click on that button, and that will bring you to a page, to the publisher page, which is McGraw-Hill. I'm going to. So you go and click on go to my Connect section, and that will bring you to the publisher book of the version. This is here you can find the book itself. You can click on the book and watch it. And also you have here the assignments. For example, we're going to start with chapter 1, and here you will find three things that we're going to talk about in a few seconds. You have a learning assignment. It's called LS, learning assignment. You have a practice quiz and also a quiz for this chapter. So back to the syllabus. In the syllabus also you have the objective of the course, and here you will have some information about the student and the Student Support and Learning Resources Office that you might need to contact in case you need help. We have also information for the special needs student. If you are a student of a special need, any need that you might have, you can contact this office and arrange with them. They have a lot of resources and facilitation for students with special needs. There's so much information here that you might need to read as well, but I'm gonna jump into the assessment of this course. And in this course we are going to do a unified system-wide exams. Those exams will be held on Saturday, so you need to come to school on Saturday to do the exam, because of the fact that this Chemistry 101 is a big course. There's kind of 1,000 students who are attending this course, and we're gonna do one exam for all of them. The first exam will be held in September 26th of this year in the morning, and also the second exam will be on November 7th, and each exam will worth 20 marks. We're going to do also a final exam at the end of the semester that worth 35 marks. Meanwhile, you'll have some online assessments, mainly quizzes and assignments. Okay, So as I said, as you see here, we have quizzes that worth 10 marks and learning assignments that's worth 5 marks of the total course. So back to here to Magro Hill, we have the quiz here, chapter 1 quiz. So all the quizzes, they worth 10 marks, and also the learning assignment. So the way you do this is you do it in sequence. First, you do the learning assignment, you finish it, and then you move on to practice quiz, and then the quiz. The practice quiz does not worth any marks. There is no marks for practice quiz. It's just for you to practice. But once you finish this, you do the quiz. The quiz itself is timed, so you have to do it within 10 or 15 minutes. It's timed, and you have also some limited dates to do that. So in this case, you have till September 1st to finish quiz 1. You will have 2 attempts to do each quiz. Okay, so for example, and we count the highest mark. So for example, if you do the quiz for the first time and you score 7 out of 10, and you do it again and you score 9 out of 10, then your mark will be 9. That means we are going to count only the highest mark, not the second attempt, but the highest mark. Okay, so that's about it for the assignments. Basically for this course you need to attend lectures, and the lectures will be recorded for you, and also you need to do some online assessments at the house in order to practice. So it's 2 things. I have to do my part and then you do your part. In the syllabus as well, we have the contents itself, and this is important. So we're going to start with chapter 1. But not everything in chapter 1 is required. So we're going to start with section 1.7, 1.8, and 1.9. That means the sections 1.1 all the way to 1.6 is not required. You don't have to read them. It's just general information for you. So this is important for you to stick with this. Keep this in mind. Chapter 2 also starts with 2.3. That means 2.1 and 2.2 is not required. And we go all over this material. We have to cover up to chapter 10 in this, and this is a bit of material. Chemistry 101 is basically a repetition of the stuff that you studied in high school, with a little bit of more details and a little bit of more depth, but it is a heavy material, and then you need to actually cope with the pacing of the material by studying at home day by day and finishing all the online assessments on time. So that's about it for the syllabus. Just going to show you the book now. I do have a PDF copy of the book. We're using a CHEM 12th edition, and you see if you click on chapter 1, this is the book. It's colored and everything. It looks nice. It's a nice book. But as I said, we are not covering all of this material at the beginning. We're going to jump into section 1.7, measurements, okay? So measurement is when we start. And I have prepared some PowerPoint presentations for you to help you understand the material. So you will see when I go over the PowerPoints, the same material is in the book itself. In the book, also we have some examples, okay? And my job in this course is to solve these examples for you inside the lecture, okay? Well, the examples are already solved in the book, but they might be not clear, or they might be solved in a different way. But for each example, I will help you. And one important thing here is, underneath each example, there is a practice exercise, okay? Practice exercise. So this is, you must do this practice exercise when you finish the lecture, and this is important because this is kind of you to practice the knowledge in order to get the right idea right, and make sure that you are understanding how to solve questions and how to do these skills. Okay, these practice exercises are different than the online assessments, okay? So they're both different. If you're asking me if you have answers for the practice exercise, yes, we have. So if you go to the end of chapter 1, at the very end of chapter 1, here you have key occasions, summary, You have problems as well. Some of these problems you might also need to take a look at them. Additional problems. At the very end of the chapter, after the additional problems, you will have one more. Okay, here. Answers to practice exercises. You see? Answers to practice exercise. Those are the answers. So the way you do that is you solve the question and just come here to check if you get the right answer. Okay, so to summarize, two things you must do before you start this course is first you have to email the bookstore in order to get a copy of the book, and you have access to the Mike Gruhill online assessments tool. And the second thing is to take a look at the syllabus and make sure that you understand every bit of it and cope with the syllabus. Okay. In chapter 1 of chemistry, we are going to cover the only 3 sections, which are measurements, handling numbers, and dimension analysis and solving problems. So, measurements is an important thing in science, chemistry, and physics, and it deals with measuring things, either length or weight or mass or volume or whatever. And we have also tools to measure. So for example, if you're taking, assume when you take Chemistry 101, you're taking the lab as well. And in the lab, we're gonna show you these measuring tools or measuring instruments to measure volume. We have in the lab different things. We have graduated cylinder, we have a volumetric flask and a pipette and different things. And these are used to measure the volume. If you wanna measure a weight of something or a mass, you use a balance, okay? So when I ask you what is the weight of your mobile phone and you put it in a balance, you say, okay, it's 16.43 grams. And a measurement is always composed of 2 things, a number and a unit. So when I ask you, how much is this? You say 3, well, 3 what? 3 grams, 3 milliliters, $3. A measurement has to combine of a number and a unit. A number without any unit does not make any sense. Now the number itself, it contains some decimal points, and these decimal points depends on the accuracy of the balance or the device that you use to obtain this unit. So when I ask you what is the length of the room, you say, okay, so 3 meters, and the other student might say 3.5 meters, and the other student will say 3.56 meters. It depends on the tool that you use to get this measurement. Okay, so these decimal places, we're getting them from the device itself. For example, for balances in the lab, some of them they are 2 digits, and some of them are 4 digits, and some of them are 5. They're more accurate. And we're gonna learn about the significant figures later on this chapter. For the measurements, we have something called the International System of Units, or what you call SI units. We have 7 things here that you need to memorize: length, mass, time, electrical current, temperature, amount of substance, and luminescence. Length is measured in different units, you know that, meters, kilometers, miles. But the SI unit, the international system, the one we agreed on to measure length, is meter. Okay? And for mass, it's actually kilogram. It's not grams, it's kilograms. For time, it's second, although there are other units to measure time, like seconds, hours, and minutes, and whatever. But the SI unit for time is second. For current, it's amperes. We have Kelvin for temperature. It's not Celsius. It's the SI unit for temperature is Kelvin. We have the mole for the amount of substance. And we have also a unit called candela for the luminescence, but this is not usually used in chemistry. Now, from these units, actually, you can derive other units. So the volume is not listed in this table, as you see. But the volume, we know the volume is length times length times length. So because the length has a SI unit of meter, then the volume will be meter cube. Okay? So if I ask you what is the SI unit of volume, you will answer it's meter cube. And you can also derive other units for other things. And for example, another example would be the speed. We know we measure speed by meter per second or kilometer per hour or mile per hour. But if I ask you what is the SI unit of speed, well, I know that speed is equal distance over time. Distance will be meter, time is a second. So the SI unit for speed would be meter per second. Another important table is the multiplication of the unit. So we know that a meter, 1,000 meter, we call it kilometer, and a million meter would be mega, and then you have giga and you have tera. Those are the multiplications of the units. And we have also subdivisions of the unit itself. So a thousandth of a meter would be a millimeter. That's 1,000. That's 1 divided by 1,000. And you have a micro, which is a millionth, 10 to the minus 6. We have also a nano and a pico. And the one that is not shown, the 10 to the minus 15 is called femto. F. The symbol is F, femto. So this table is also to be memorized, and it's very important to convert different units. One question might rise is, what is the difference between mass and weight? Well, people, they mix kind of between them. They think the mass and weight are the same, but however they're not. The mass is a fixed number. It depends only on the amount of substance. So if your mass is 120 kilograms on Earth, it would be 120 kilograms wherever else, on the moon or any other planet. But your weight depends on the gravity, because you know weight is equal mass times the gravitational constant, which is almost 10. So that would be 1,200 newtons on Earth. But in the moon, it would be less than that. Your weight will be less than that on the moon. People, especially in a lab, they mix between the two things. They say mass and weight are the same. So actually, when you measure something on a scale, it's better to describe it as the mass, not the weight. So you say it's 12 grams. The mass is 12 grams. You don't say the weight is 12 grams. It's more accurate. However, people still mix between the two concepts, and it's okay. Now we're gonna discuss the concept of volume. So as I said, the SI unit of volume is meter cube. However, it's not in a table. In this table, there is no volume, but we know volume is length cube, and the SI unit for length is meter. Therefore, the SI unit for volume is meter cube. But this is not the only unit that is used to measure volume. We have other units as well. We have something called liter and milliliter and decimeter cube and all of these. So how does these units convert to each other's? Now let me open this window here and explain to you. If you have a small box, okay, and that box or cube is 1 centimeter in width times 1 centimeter in depth times 1 centimeter in height, then you say it's the volume is equal to 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter, and this would be equal to 1 centimeter cube. And this is actually, we call it a milliliter. So the word centimeter cube is the same as milliliter, and I'm gonna show you why in a few seconds. Now if you take a bigger box, and this box will be not 1 centimeter, but it will be 10 centimeter here in depth, and this is 10 centimeter in the other dimension, and in height it's also 10 centimeter. So what's going to be the volume? The volume of that would be 10 times 10 times 10, and that's going to be 1,000 centimeter cube. That means this big box, because of the fact that this is 1 centimeter cube and this is 1,000, that means I can fit 1,000 of the small boxes into this. Okay, because this is a 10 centimeter, that means I can put 10 here in this direction, 10 in the other, 10 in the other. So this big box can contain 1,000 of the small boxes. A 1,000 centimeter cube, we call this 1 liter. Okay, and therefore 1 liter is equal 1,000 milliliters. Okay, this box, because it's 10 centimeter in each direction, a 10 centimeter is the same as 1 decimeter, by the way. So this is 1 decimeter here, 1 decimeter there, and 1 decimeter there, and therefore this is 1 liter. So another way to describe the volume of this big box is 1 decimeter times 1 decimeter times 1 decimeter which is equal 1 decimeter cube. So 1 decimeter cube is the same as 1 liter, okay? So here, let's summarize again. 1 liter is the same as 1 decimeter cube is equal to 1000 milliliter, okay? Or it's equal to 1000 centimeter cube. And if you buy a liter of milk or a liter of water, this is basically a cube of 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter, or 1 decimeter cube. If you bring a big box, well, I cannot draw it here, the screen would be not enough for that. But if you bring a big box that is 1 meter in each direction, okay, that's a 1 meter cube, that's a big box. Maybe this will be the water container at the top of your house, 1 meter cube of water, that's a huge. So each 1 meter here, it's equal to 100 centimeter. So if you want to find this in milliliter or liter, you say this is 10 centimeter, 100 centimeter times 100 times 100, which is equal to 1 million centimeter cube. That means that the 1 meter cube, how many milliliter is it? Is 10 to the power 6 milliliter. Yani 10 to the power 6 centimeter cube. How many liters are in 1 meter cube? You can put 1000 liters. So 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liter. Okay, so as you see here, this is all explained in this slide, the relationship between the different units of volume. And that's about it for this lecture. Inshallah, in next lecture we are going to talk about density, and we are going to solve some more questions about density. So thank you for listening to my lecture, and I wish you a beautiful day, and just make sure to get the book and to try to start these online assignments as well. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Thank you.